If you know me, you know I'm always researching, getting information on healthy lifestyles, healthy choices, healthy nutrition. You know that since last September, I started doing carnivore, which essentially is just an elimination, I hate the word diet, way of life to see if the foods that we've been consuming for our whole lives are causing problems or not. So one thing I've noticed, and this is just based on a carnivore, Facebook page, which is always interesting, is that people hear how quickly other people are losing weight on carnivore and they are thinking, oh wow, this is my answer, this is my fix, this is what is going to, make me have that body that I've always wanted. So constantly on this carnivore Facebook page, I hear people asking, how long, is it until I start losing weight? Or I've been doing this for a week and I haven't lost a single pound, or I've been doing this. And it's like they're all missing the point. They're all missing the point of being healthy. They want to have that body. They want to have, just that. It's all about losing weight to them, which really blows my mind. Because if you're on that mindset, you're really missing the whole point. The whole point of being healthy, that is. Now, I've heard of a shit ton of people who have lost weight on carnivore who aren't your typical gym rats or who don't really exercise. They've just changed their lifestyle and have lost weight. Well, no shit. Yeah, of course. But you gotta remember what the body has that, contributes to weight loss. That's why weight loss is so stupid. You want to lose fat, not weight. I have a friend and was catching up. She was looking really good and she said that she was starting to eat more healthy, and I could tell. And she weighs less than me now. And I was, thinking about that, and yeah, it looks like she's lost fat. But me, my goal is to build muscle. And to say this sounds like a broken record, but there are some people out there that don't know that muscle weighs more than fat. Let's take into account bone density. If you're doing carnivore right and you're working out, you should increase bone density. That's a healthy thing. That's a good thing. That's gonna cause the scale to go up. But the other thing, and I'm gonna kind of tie another comment or another post into this. A guy who's really into bodybuilding, probably, let's just say he's got his opinions, and just one of those that's just like, he basically said, people that do carnivore, look like shit, because in the bodybuilding world, you consume a shit ton of protein and carbohydrates. In the carnivore keto world, you consume hardly any carbohydrates, like less than 50 grams a day, which I've been consuming less than 50 grams of carbohydrates for quite a long time. And I was like, well, I don't think I look like shit, kind of like ignorant much. But a woman made a comment on that and said, it's about eliminating, all these other things that we're ingesting that could be causing gut problems, skin problems, so many other things that we don't even realize we were giving ourselves because of what we were consuming, mostly in the form of carbohydrate, whether it be by eating rice, oatmeal, stuff like that. I just wish people would open up their minds and be more informed. I wish that they would not be so ignorant and those that have to be all snarky and shit, like why? So you can stroke your ego and say that you made a point that day? It really blows my mind when people, and it's their page, sure, do what you want, free speech, but it's like, wow, I look amazing, so I'm gonna talk shit on people who don't consume even a quarter of the amount of carbohydrates that I do every day to build muscle. It just blows my mind because I spent the last 20 years consuming carbohydrates with my protein to build muscle because I thought that was the only way to build muscle. I haven't really lost a lot of muscle since doing carnivore. Now, granted, I'm more ketovore right now because after eliminating a lot of things, I realized that the plants that I was ingesting really, weren't harming me like I thought they were. That's just me. And I'll go back and forth. I kind of go in cycles where I'll try something for a while. Like right now, I'm going to start cutting out sodium because when I started carnivore, I upped my sodium big time to prevent cramps because I, through my research, heard that might be the case. But I was like, all right, now that I've been doing this for this long, I think my body's ready to start cutting out sodium again and maybe see if that, gets rid of some water weight. Maybe that makes me look more lean, less puffy. Just, constantly learning, constantly figuring shit out. But it's just so interesting to sit back and watch people freak about weight when they don't understand what, weight is. Instead of worrying about fat, worrying about their health, worrying about just letting their bodies heal themselves. And then those people that have to talk shit, well, you're ignorant. You don't understand that. And this, I thought it was funny. This guy is, a competitive bodybuilder. Every bodybuilder that's competitive knows the dangers of that lifestyle. They know that. They're not stupid. Especially if you're using performance-enhancing drugs. They know it's not healthy. They look like a freaking jacked up superhero. Sure, who wouldn't want to look like that? But they're not stupid. So the fact that this guy was saying this, I was like, bro, come on. Oh, I had to push snooze. I mean, why do I even follow you at this point? But come on. Is your ego that small that you have to start? I just don't get it. Just stay in your lane. Worry about yourself. Worry about your ego. Worry about your health. If you're not there to inspire and help others out, then come on. Anyways, there's my rant for the morning. I'm gonna go hit it. It's leg day. Gonna do my best with what I got. I'll let you know how the sodium decrease goes, and we'll move on. Because we're all just here to learn and hopefully help each other out.